Land degradation, poor vegetation, dry riverbeds, elements resulting from irresponsible human activity that are now threatening our planet. To surmount the emerging threat of climate change, communities have to urgently change their way of living. The transformation process has begun in some parts of the continent. The Worldwide Fund is nurturing a new culture among Kenya's, Tanzania's, Uganda's and Rwanda's children through the East Africa Education for Sustainable Development program. A culture that has certainly become the new way of living. At Kenya's Kibos Prison Primary School located in Nyanza region in Kenya, 13-year-old Maklina Nafula, a pupil in Standard 8, is proud of their new income earner.
In Kibos Prison Primary School, we have a garden which is behind the classes, planting vegetables like the cowpeas and some traditional vegetables, which we are to sell and get money. The money which we get, we are to buy seeds and plant another vegetables.
This place is a dry area. The first thing WCK gave us was a water tank. Next, they provided us with seedlings, which we used to provide a lot there.
Education for Sustainable Development is a dynamic approach that addresses these challenges. It takes a holistic and practical approach to learning by linking ecological, social and economic aspects of people's daily lives.
The ESD program has had 4 critical thematic areas. We have the policy component that has focused on ensuring, supporting the countries to advance their education for sustainable development. We also developed the Pan-African Youth Strategy on learning for sustainability, which is a strategy that guides different stakeholders on how to engage with the youth so that the youth can be empowered and contribute to green economies and sustainable development in Africa.
It's very important for young people to conserve the environment, because most of the activities that are degrading the environment are basically done by the youth, with the young people. It's we who have the strength to go and cut down the trees. It's we who have the strength to go and burn the charcoal. It's we who still have the strength to go to the swamps and dig and plant potatoes there. So when you talk about, when you influence the youth first, it puts that in their mind and they know that they are supposed to conserve the what? The environment.
Morning school.
Teachers are trained to mainstream learning for sustainability both in the school curriculum and co-curricular activities through the use of practical outdoor activities to explain abstract concepts such as sustainable living, energy crisis and the conservation of nature, enriching learners' knowledge and conservation skills. The ESD program uses a whole school approach to implement its activities to ensure sustainability of the program's interventions. The whole school approach takes into consideration the school's culture and ethos, teaching and learning practices, pupils' participation, school community links, and the school estate. It entails learning for sustainability in which the model school compounds become replica ecosystems that exhibit sensitivity to nature. Conservation efforts are evident in tree nurseries, soil erosion control, kitchen gardens, school farms, dairy farming, herbal gardens and cash crops farming. The program has also ensured improved health and sanitation by provision of water tanks and hand-washing equipment for the different ESD model schools.
The ESD program has been implemented in the different countries through partners. In Kenya, within the Lake Victoria catchment, the program has been implemented by the Wildlife Clubs of Kenya. In Uganda, the program has been implemented by Nature Uganda. In Tanzania, the program has been implemented by the WWF Tanzania Country Office. And in Rwanda, we have worked in partnership with the Rwanda Environmental Management Authority, and also in collaboration with the International Gorilla Conservation Program that has actually helped to provide administrative oversight. And for the Lambu program in Kenya, we have implemented the program through WWF Kenya.
The partnership.
Edward Mwendwa has led his team to have clubs formed here for purposes of actualizing the call to environmental conservation.
Through WWF, we have had a lot of capacity building of our teachers in all these regions. Not only that, through WWF, even our own staff have been capacity built by WWF in various methodologies of articulating environmental education. And that's one thing we can really say we really thank WWF, because it enabled us and our teachers on the ground to learn new methodologies of giving out environmental education. And that has been the key to success.
The ESD program is working with lead government agencies, particularly the ministries of education in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and Rwanda, to fast-track the development of ESD policies for these countries and ensure learning for sustainability is mainstreamed in the school's curriculum.
We found that teaching somebody that you can grow a tomato just using the textbook is different from now when you can actually watch the tomato growing outside the classroom, just at the doorstep. And that is the kind of approach that we are proposing, that is to be inculcated.
Here at Kibos Prison Primary School in Kenya's Nyanza region, the school has developed a woodlot, a little forest where the children love to go and read.
When we went for the training, they gave us basics on caring for trees, landscaping, keeping our school beautiful.
The Wildlife Clubs of Kenya has formed a formidable partnership with WWF to make the program successful in 14 Kenyan schools, reaching over 8,000 students. To enable the inclusion of environment-related studies in the education curriculum, WWF has also worked with the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. It has taken capacity building, meticulous planning and monitoring of the results of this partnership to achieve the change being witnessed in schools.
Actually, we carried out a baseline survey on the concept of the education for sustainable development across the nation. We visited more than 2,000 institutions across the levels: early childhood education, primary, secondary, and it's also available on the web. And we found the concept was being implemented in some schools out of their own initiative. But now, since now we're going to have a policy shift, it is now the government which is taking it up and initiating it in all the schools.
At Uganda's St. Anthony's Kayunga Senior Secondary School, students are communicating environmental messages, key tools in awareness creation, and an art they have perfected, earning them trophies in school competitions. Pavers for pathways in this school are not made from cabro or concrete blocks, but recycled waste, preserving the environment in the process.
We try and collect these bottles to maintain the cleanness of our environment and the land we grow crops in.
The students in this school are sensitized about environmental protection. We would like to see that we save nature. We would like to see that our environment is saved for our future generation. And that's the reason why we encourage our students to plant trees.
The WWF Regional Office of Africa's Education for Sustainable Development Program has also addressed energy issues through promotion of appropriate technologies for energy conservation. By adopting solar power, energy-efficient wood stoves and biogas, model schools save time and money, freeing resources for further improvement of school facilities. This is the story of St. Anthony Kayunga Senior Secondary School in Masaka District, Uganda. Still in Uganda, teachers at the Blessed Sacrament Kimanya Primary School have received training in ESD. Founded in 1964, the school has now integrated ESD in its curriculum and has benefited from a water tank provided by WWF and Nature Uganda.
We have managed to maintain the greening of the school by planting not only flowers but also plants, which plants can even assist us to save the overspending of meals for both teachers and the learners.
Across the border on the Tanzania side, WWF's initiative bringing about sustained livelihoods is evident, especially in this school standing on a rocky ground. ESD is changing Sanganga Primary School's environment through the practical conservation lessons. Since 2014, WWF and its partners including Nature Uganda, Wildlife Clubs of Kenya and Rwanda Environment Management Authority have supported 64 model schools in the East African region also, 5 teacher training colleges, 47 youth groups and 16 community groups that have seen the establishment of 9 sustainability villages in 2 key landscapes, the Lake Victoria region and the Lamu landscape in coastal Kenya. This initiative concept enables communities to acquire skills to sustainably manage their environment whilst promoting sustainable livelihoods.
Education for sustainable development. Before it came into being, we were very much concerned about EE, that is environmental education. Now, the problem was EE was only looking at one aspect of the environment, that only one component, the environment. But then, when it came to ESD now brings in a paradigm shift where it brings in the 3 pillars of conservation. That is, you must think about the environment, you must think about the society, you must think about the economy. It's not a question of just the environment. This environment has people. This environment, people are doing something. And that is exactly why we say with ESD, it was actually more dynamic and it was more broad-based than EE.
The concept of sustainability villages has brought about remarkable results. Initially piloted in Enego and Ndurio villages of the Nandi Hills region in Kenya, the initiative is aimed at enabling communities take responsibility of their own livelihood through natural resource management. The ESD East Africa program has now 9 sustainability villages spread out in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and Rwanda.
Mafunzo ile tuliyopata kutoka nyinyi Kisumu ndio imewezesha watu wengi wamekuwa na pesa, mbeleni watu wako na pesa. Chakula imekuwa mingi kwa hii area.
We ensure that these villages demonstrate sustainability in all aspects, in the conservation of the natural resources within even the individual households, and also any natural resources within the area where they are found, if they be river systems, forests.
The ESD East Africa program has ensured mainstreaming of social issues during its implementation to include gender and HIV and AIDS.
What we've done is, for example, we've created awareness, and in some regions whereby they have cultural practices that may tend to propagate the spread of the disease, we've endeared to create awareness on the implications of such cultural practices.
Beyond gender mainstreaming, community-led greening initiatives have immensely benefited women who have embraced environment-friendly technologies. Not only do they make lighter the household chores, some technologies such as fireless cookers provide extra income. Sustainable livelihoods contribute to the good health of program beneficiaries. The 30-member Jasirika group in Tanzania, comprising men and women, has discovered that proper management of HIV and AIDS is helping to mitigate poverty.
Kazi yangu kubwa ni kuhamasisha jamii na kutoa elimu ya VVU. VVU ni virusi vya ukimwi. Tunatembea nyumba hadi nyumba na kuwapima. Tuliowapima jumla walikuwa ni watu 40 na positive walipatikana watu 18. Na mpaka sasa hivi wameshajiunga na CTC, wanaendelea na tiba.
In Masaka, Uganda, a grandmother of 3 was before this intervention unable to fend for these children living with HIV. Now, life has become better for this elderly lady and those under her care, thanks to improved livelihood because of the ESD interventions.
Era emisomo giri gye mbagambye waggulu awo nenasoose okwogerako nti tugifuna kusinza mu kibiina kyaffe ekyo, era mwe nafunye amagezi ag'okulaba nti nfuna biogas nkendeezeeko ku nku ne bano bannange basobole okulaba nti bangwirwa nga bagenda ku ssomero, wayo biogas ali mu nnyumba mwe tufumbira.
WWF's ESD intervention is also aimed at strengthening civil society networks to create strong platforms for advocating for sustainable natural resource management and environmental conscious development projects. This has been achieved through building the capacity of local youth organizations, bringing together community members to collectively take responsibility for the environment and their livelihoods. This development comes with due capacity building. Joyce Najobe Kawoya is a trainer in ESD. It is a process.
The groups here in the ESD village are 3. We have Kaswazinda Youth, we also have Banamusenyu Youth, and Fekatukore Kobazambogo Youth Groups. Fekatukore is engaged in briquettes making. They moved away from utilizing the wetland.
Now this is our pressing machine.
Youth groups have now been empowered to contribute effectively towards their own sustainable development by reaping the benefits of integrating conservation into income-generating activities. Kaswazinda Youth Group in Masaka, Uganda makes charcoal briquettes from biodegradable waste, from which they earn an income. This also reduces environmental degradation.
Nature Uganda helped us to support us with the machines, and they also helped us to give us a training to learn how to use the machines, how we can get the briquettes from the waste products. The maize combs has already seen the banana peelings, but now we have, and so far we have helped the community to stop them from cutting down trees because they are now using the briquettes.
This transformative approach ensures ownership, scaling up, and sustainability of the program. WWF is now working with community groups, youth groups, and policymakers as well to advance advocacy. The youth in Uganda's Masaka district, through Kalukole Nkobazambogo Youth Group, now have a voice with regard to sustainable development.
We train the community on how to be responsible in their areas, in their community.
The youth in Enego in Nandi Hills of Western Kenya also have a similar objective, but have their own unique approach.
Youths have been able to speak out on matters that concern the environment, and we have seen some restoration being done at the wetland where the tree seedlings that were in the group have been used to restore the wetland, and more people have been well conversed with the matters that pertain to environment.
ESD East Africa is one of several programs funded by the government of Sweden within its civil society strengthening framework for development cooperation. Today, there are over 800 ESD villages established, 250 community members trained so as to enable natural resource management at village level, and over 1,000 youth groups empowered to become good ambassadors of nature. The element of partnerships cannot be overemphasized. Nature Uganda, the implementing partner for this program in Uganda, has demonstrated commendable results with the diverse stakeholders.
All these things we learned through implementation of this program, but also through demand from local communities and local government on how to best conserve these areas.
The design of the next phase will take account of a review of what has been achieved so far, including getting the views of the beneficiaries, what they think was done well, what they think was not done well, incorporate that into the design of the program, define roles and responsibilities of the various partners in that program, and then start thinking of what would be the end point. At that end point, how will roles shift? Because some will have to pick up more responsibility and some will have to probably pull back.
The goal of WWF's ESD program in the region remains that of securing ecological integrity and sustainable livelihoods for the benefit of present and future generations in Africa and beyond.
I would only wish the partnership can be strengthened, because these areas which we carried out these pilot programs in Homa Bay, Nandi and Transmara, I would say were like pilots. They were the base. But we would love at some time in future to have a bigger partnership where we can cascade the success stories in all these areas to other areas of this country, where every citizen, every individual knows the importance of ESD, the 3 pillars of ESD, how to balance the pillars for sustainability.
We will not exist until we are sure of a good sustainability. And we have a track record to demonstrate that. There are a number of programs we've recently exited with very good sustainability. As I said, we have done a lot of work in Southern Africa on community-based natural resource management, working with civil society organizations. How we came to the point in the last phase of sustainability is to basically strengthen the civil society platforms, help them get legal recognition, start getting funds while we're still there to support them. And when they go to the point and they start being weaned off, it's like weaning off a child, then we start stepping back.